What is up, everybody? This is a young queen cat.
It's TC, just TC, no period in the middle.
Peace, love, and Kai.
And it's your man Louis Lamar.
And you're kicking it here with us in Star SküL.
Star SküL, not Star SküL.
All right, so today our first topic is the oldest sibling in single-parent homes. How much responsibility is too much responsibility? What slack do they have to pick up because that other parent isn't there?
So, like, that question is just deep, like, and it hits me on a personal level. T can attest to this. Like, anybody who knows T is, you know, that's my big brother. And clearly, like my mom, that woman is a freaking angel. But it was times when she would go straight to school. From when we was at school, she would be at school, going to school right with us. When we came home from school, she would go straight to work. So, like, it would be times where we never saw her until, you know, it was time for breakfast. Or when we woke up and unlocked the door for her and helped her in the house after work at like 10, 11 o'clock at night. So the responsibilities of making sure our two little brothers ate and cleaned the house and did their chores, which we didn't do half the time, but what was on us, you know. So, you know, I was the one cooking and cleaning and stuff like that. So for a long time I thought that that's what the responsibility of an older sibling was. I didn't realize that I was really doing some grown, real life grown man stuff, like. But yeah, so I think that's just a huge topic for us to talk about, really, man.
Huge. Let's hear from one of the women.
Well, I have experience with that too. I have 3 younger brothers, my mom's side, and I can remember my dad would tell me, like, more recently, now that I am an adult, he would have shared with me times where, you know, we would pick up my brothers, because them not his kids, but they my brothers, so, you know, he would pick up my brothers, they all 3 of them be in the back seat, and I'm turning around, snapping on them, telling them to shut up, giving them that mother's eye and stuff, like I was their mom, like, because I was just used to, you know, being the big sister. If my mama wasn't around or whatever, we walking home from school, I gotta make sure they get home from school, I gotta make sure we all together, you know, make sure we all go to the babysitter's house. And I was little, like 7, 8, 9 years old, doing this. And he shared with me more recently how he used to have to tell me to, you know, calm down, relax, like, you don't have to, because he was uncomfortable as my other parent seeing me react like that, you know, because that's an adult's place. That wasn't like a child's place to do that, to kind of be like that. But I just kind of learned how to be like that with them. So I think that it can be a lot of pressure, but I don't think that it happens. I think it just kind of happens, you know, like your mom didn't tell y'all to, she expected for you guys to help take care of yourselves because she wasn't going to be there, but she didn't tell you to do this, that, and the other. She didn't tell you to, okay, well, now or maybe she did. I know my mama didn't tell me to do that. It just was an expected thing to look out for the younger sibling.
Expectation.
Yeah, like for the longest of times, you know, me being the oldest, you know, 3 younger brothers, you know, up under me, in a household led by solely my mother and my mother only, you know, I just automatically felt like, oh, it's my job. You know, your little brothers look up to you before anything else, and you know that. If you don't know nothing else, you know your little brothers look up to you, and you know, oh, I gotta protect my little brothers or my younger siblings. That's what you know.
Right.
Before your mother or your father's, you know, single parent telling you, like, this is what you gotta do. You gotta do something in you tells you, like, this is what I gotta do. You know it, but for the longest, I always felt like I'm still a kid. Being a kid should take precedence over me having to fill this maturity role that I'm not even there yet. Like, I ain't even hit puberty, and now I gotta make sure, you know what I'm saying, they doing what they supposed to do, even though I would just tell them.
Right.
Cook.
Right. Use a little
cook.
Physical enforcement.
Yeah, y'all cook. Y'all clean.
No, we was the same side. We were no physical.
It ain't work like that.
Well, how do you think is fair? Like, do you think that that's a fair thing?
I don't think it's fair. I think that's an unrealistic expectation for you to expect someone so young to step into a position where they have to now learn how to take care of someone else when they haven't learned yet to take care of themselves.
Yeah.
It is the world in which we live in. We do have those circumstances where that has to happen.
Right.
But I do think it is unfair, and I do think it also it causes that older sibling to have some type of, like, it could cause resentment for the other siblings, for the younger siblings, and it could also cause a lot of, you know, like for me, I have a younger brother, and I was his second mom, and that's what my mom called me, his second mom. But there's a lot of things that I missed out on doing because I was worried about him.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of things that I didn't get to do as self because I was always worried about him, and I think that that's important, and that's one of the things that we miss out on if there is an older sibling stepping into that role, because they are still a child, and it's just unfortunate because then you also have that younger sibling who's always looking up and expects their older sibling to now step in as that mother position or their father role.
Right.
And it's just now the sibling role is kind of messed up.
Not to cut you off, my fault. I'm gonna let you get to it. Like you said, like it forms a sense of resentment. Because you don't know, when you're so young, you don't know any better. All you know is you still have a young mentality. You still feel like, well, why is so-and-so, why is this brother or that brother getting treated like this, and I'm getting treated like this? I'm getting yelled at for not being this way or that way. You know what I'm saying? Look, you feel like we're equal, so why are they getting, you start feeling like they're getting treated better.
Right.
Or that you're not liked as much.
Man.
You know, so...
Yeah.
You don't understand. You're just too young to understand.
Right.
You're talking about the younger siblings, right?
Yeah.
They don't understand.
They just too young to understand what's going on. You know, and it's just hard.
We're the culture. And the culture has changed. Because back in the day, you had that village, and that village was grandma, auntie, uncle, cousin, brother, next door neighbor.
Somebody
but now,
stepping in.
This village is mom, brother, little brother, other brother, maybe grandma, maybe auntie. But at the same time, like, so now our village is changed. Yeah. So now I have to step up, and I need to be the one sitting here like, hey, did you do your homework? You know, mom's not coming home till it better be done when she get here. You know, we all got a whooping because you didn't do this last time.
You know, take care of somebody else who's not their child, and they just a child themselves, and then you start wilding out, and then you know when you finally do get off the leash a little bit, when that younger sibling is able to finally go walk to the bus stop and back by themselves or whatever, then all right, look, you just go home, and I'll be back before mommy get home. Don't answer the door for nobody, and you go and you off into the world doing things that you probably not supposed to be doing because you just yearning for that. You know, all your peers or everybody else around you is able to do.
That's
or
powerful, Kat. Like when you said it, just you get to a point where you just start wilding out.
Yeah.
It's because you start feeling like the world is against you. Like your mom don't like you, or or your dad may not like you. That's why they making you do all the chores. That's why they yelling at you and spoon feeding everybody else. That's just the way you start feeling. Man, I would just wait till my mom leave. And I would leave too. Like, well, you ain't gonna stop me from going to the pool.
What's the punishment?
I wanna go jump off the diving board too.
What are repercussions?
I'm proud of
it. Because you've been put into this role where you are that other parent almost, it's like, can your mom really tell you what you can and cannot do? Because you're making these decisions, and you've entered into somewhat of an adulthood because you're older and you're the one who's telling the kids what they can and cannot do. So is it fair now for someone else to try to tell you what to do, or when they tell you that you're like, okay, well, what's going on? I've been telling them what to do. I've been trying to take care of this, and now you want to try and tell me what to do.
Right, have a hard time dealing with authority.
Right, we have a hard time with authority after that because
big time.
You stepped into a role too early, and then now you have kids who are raising kids, so they only know so much, and then this next generation only knows so much because we're raising each other.
And I think a part of that is what makes us think that it's all right when somebody get pregnant early, that we'll be able to do it because I've been doing X, Y, Z. But that's let's talk about the parent. Let's talk about mom in this role, or if it's dad. Now, my mom, she used to beat herself up because she couldn't be there. Right. She couldn't, because I had to do this, because you had to do that, because she put that burden on it. She would beat herself up so bad that you would see her break down while she thought we wasn't looking, while we wasn't around. But really, what could she do?
I guess we can all just kind of agree, let kids be kids. Because it's just,
the culture,
just let them be kids as much as possible, and that's another reason why it's so important to have a village, and that's why it's so important to have loved ones around you and people who can help and support you when you are, raising your family and having children and everything. But you guys, on that note, we're gonna wrap this up here, and we'll be back at you with another one in just a short minute. You kicking it here with us at Star SküL.